Welcome to Communicate to Lead, the podcast that empowers leaders and aspiring leaders to communicate with clarity and impact. I'm Kele Belton, CEO and successful entrepreneur, and your host for today. I'm here to equip you with all the essential tools and strategies to master effective communication and lead your team to success. As the founder and CEO of The Tailored Approach, my goal is to empower you to be the best leader you can be. So sit back, relax, and join me in today's episode as we dive into the art of communicating like a true leader. Picture this. You're at your company's summer picnic and your CEO walks over to grab a burger right next to you. Your heart starts racing because you know this could be the moment to make a meaningful connection. But then your brain freezes. Do you talk about work, keep it casual, pretend you don't recognize him? If you've ever felt that awkward tension between wanting to network and not wanting to be that person who turns every summer gathering into a LinkedIn opportunity, this episode is for you. Welcome back to Communicate to Lead. I'm Kele Belton, your communication and leadership coach, and I'm here to help you build the skills you need to lead with confidence and authenticity. Today, we're diving into something that every ambitious woman faces during the summer months: how to build meaningful professional relationships when everyone's schedule looks like a game of Tetris. Half your contacts are on vacation, and the last thing you want to do is come across as pushy or opportunistic. Here's what I'm going to share with you in the next 15 to 20 minutes. The 3 R's of summer networking, a simple framework that will help you build relationships without the hustle, create authentic connections that actually matter, and set yourself up for incredible opportunities when September rolls around. We'll cover exactly what to say, when to say it, and how to follow through in ways that feel natural and genuine. Let me start by acknowledging something that nobody talks about enough. Summer networking feels different, and it should. The energy is more relaxed, people's priorities shift, and honestly, nobody wants to feel like they're being sold to while they're trying to enjoy their vacation or summer break. But here's the thing, and this is crucial for your career advancement. Summer is actually one of the best times to build relationships. People are more open, conversations are more natural, and you have opportunities to connect with colleagues and industry leaders in settings that feel human rather than transactional. The challenge is learning how to navigate the season authentically. You want to advance your career and expand your network, but you also want to maintain your integrity and build genuine relationships that serve everyone involved. That's where the 3R framework comes in. This isn't about becoming a summer networking machine. It's about becoming someone who knows how to build meaningful professional relationships year-round, starting with the most relaxed season of the year. The first R stands for reach out naturally. And this is where most people either avoid networking entirely or go completely overboard. Let me give you a framework that works. When I say reach out naturally, I mean initiating contact in ways that feel genuine and appropriate for the summer season. Think about how you'd reach out to a friend you haven't seen in a while. That's the energy we are going for. Here's a customizable template that works every time. And I encourage you to adapt this to your own voice because it's gold. It works. Here's a real life example. I might say, "Hi, Maria. I was thinking about our conversation at the Leadership Summit and wondered how your team restructuring project is going. I hope you're getting some good summer downtime." Here's the template structure that you can adapt. Start with hi and their name, then say, "I was thinking about our conversation at," and mention the specific event or meeting. Follow with, "I wondered how your," and reference the specific project or initiative they mentioned to you. End by acknowledging the season with something like, "I hope you're having some great summer vacation," or "I hope you're getting some good summer downtime." And notice what this template does. It references a real conversation you had, shows you were listening, asks about something they care about, and acknowledges the season without making it about you. This is the opposite of the generic, hey, how are you message that everyone ignores. You've done it. I've done it. We all have. Let me give you another variation in case you are connecting with people on LinkedIn. And here's the message. Hi, David. Your post about remote team communication really resonated with me, especially your point about the challenge of reading body language on video calls. It reminded me of when my team struggled with the same issue last year. I'd love to share what worked in that situation and hear more about your experience with building connections virtually. Hope you're having a great summer. Here's the template structure that you can adapt. Start with hi and their name, then go with your post about and mention the specific topic. Then say, really resonated with me, especially your point about, and reference a specific insight from their post. Connected with, it reminded me of, and share a brief, relevant example or experience. Then you can go with, I'd love to share what worked in that situation and hear more about your experience with, and reference a specific aspect that they might have mentioned in their post. End with a summer acknowledgement. The key here is specificity. You're not reaching out to everyone with the same message. You are reaching out to specific people with specific reasons, and you're doing it in a way that respects their time and the season. Now, here's what not to do, and I see this mistake constantly. Don't start with your agenda. Don't lead with what you want. And please, don't send those awful, I'd love to pick your brain messages. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to have their brain picked, especially in the summer. The first text or message, show genuine interest in them. The second text or message, you only send if they respond positively. Your invitation or suggestion for connecting further. That's it. No third text unless they are actively engaging with you. This approach works because you're treating networking like relationship building, which is exactly what it should be. You're showing your interest in them as a person, not as a means to an end. Now, let's talk about the second R, relate through value. This is where you really start to differentiate yourself from everyone else who's trying to network this summer. Most people think networking means asking for things. This is your opportunity to flip that completely. Summer networking is about giving value in small, meaningful ways that keep you connected without being overwhelmed. Here's my favorite strategy, and it's so simple, you'll wonder why you haven't been doing it already. The strategic article share. When you come across an article, a podcast episode, or a resource that genuinely reminds you of someone in your network, send it to them with a personal note. But here's the secret. Make it about them, not about you staying top of mind with them. Here's the message template. Let me give you a real life example first. I saw this article on hybrid team management and immediately thought of the challenges you mentioned with keeping your remote team engaged. The author's perspective on daily check-ins reminded me of your approach with weekly one-on-ones. I hope you find it helpful. So here's the template structure you can adapt. Start with, I saw this article or I heard this podcast episode, and mention the actual topic. Then you can say something like, immediately thought of the challenges you mentioned, and reference something specific they actually told you about, because that will show that you listened, you were listening, that you were paying attention, and that you remember that. Next, connected with the author's perspective on, or the podcast host's perspective on, and tie it to their approach or situation. End it with some kind of acknowledgement, something simple as, I hope you find it helpful. What makes this powerful is that you're demonstrating three things. You listen, you remember what matters to them, and you're thinking about their success even when they are not in front of you. This is how you build the kind of professional relationship that actually advance your career. Another value add strategy that works beautifully in summer, the introduction. Something that's simple. If you know two people who should know each other, summer is the perfect time to make that connection. People are more open to new relationships when the pace is slower. Here's how to do it right. Let me give you an example. Hi, Jennifer. I've been thinking about your interest in sustainable business practices, and I think you'd really enjoy connecting with Tom Chen, who's doing fascinating work in green supply chain management. Tom, meet Jennifer. I thought you two would have some great insights to share about implementing sustainability initiatives. I'll let you both take it from here. So if you're looking for the template, start with hi and then the first person's name. Then talk about you've been thinking about their interest in and mention their specific area of focus. Say, I think you'd really enjoy connecting with, and introduce them to the second person with their name and what they do in this related area. Then introduce the second person, meet and explain why you thought they should connect. And with, I'll let you both take it from here. Then step back. Don't try to manage the relationship or insert yourself into the conversation. You have provided value by making the connection, and that's enough. They get to take it further. The thinking of you approach is another goldmine during summer. When something good happens to someone in your network, a promotion, a speaking gig, a new role, reach out with a quick congratulatory message, but make it specific. Here's an example. Congratulations on your new role at Microsoft. Your passion for inclusive design is going to make such a difference there. I'm excited to see what you accomplish. So the template structure is starting with congratulations on your, and mention the specific achievement, then say your passion for and reference something specific about their expertise or interests that's relevant to their news, and end with excited to see what you accomplish or similar forward-looking statement. These small gestures compound over time. You're not asking for anything. You are not trying to get something from them. You are showing up as someone who celebrates other people's wins. This is how you become someone people want to help and support. The third R is remember to follow through. And this is where most summer networking efforts die. People make great connections, have wonderful conversations, exchange contact details and information, and then nothing. Do not be that person. So here is your September strategy. And yes, you are getting it in July. So you already know when September rolls around what you will be doing. And I invite you to think about this before summer networking season is over. When people return from vacation mode and get back into their regular work rhythm, they often are looking to capitalize on the energy of a new season. This is when your summer connections become career opportunities. But you have to bridge that gap intentionally. So first, let's talk about the simple tracking method that will save you from feeling overwhelmed. It doesn't matter whether you use a spreadsheet, a note app on your phone, or a sophisticated CRM system. What matters is that you capture 3 things about every meaningful summer connection: their name, where you met or connected, and one specific thing they are working on or that they are interested in. That's it. Don't overcomplicate this. You're not trying to build a database. You're trying to maintain relationships. Let me give you an example. Hi, Rachel. I hope you had a wonderful summer. I've been thinking about our conversation about implementing mentoring programs and wondered how things have progressed with getting leadership buy-in. I'd love to hear how things are going. And here's the template structure that you can adapt to your own voice. Start with hi and their name. Then I hope you had a wonderful summer or you had a wonderful break or vacation. Next, say I've been thinking about our conversation and reference the specific topic you discussed. Follow with I wondered how things have been progressing, and mention the specific project or goal they shared. End with I'd love to hear how things are going. Notice that the template does 3 things. It acknowledges the season change, it references your actual conversation, and it focuses on their interests, not yours. This is how you re-engage without being pushy. If you want to suggest meeting up or having a more substantial conversation, wait for their response first. If they engage positively and share what's been happening, then you can say something like this. That sounds exciting. I'd love to hear more about the new client onboarding process you mentioned. Would you be interested in grabbing coffee sometime in the next few weeks? If you want to adapt the template, start with acknowledging their update. That sounds exciting. Oh, that's fantastic. Then say, I'd love to hear more about, and reference a specific aspect they mentioned in their response. End with, would you be interested in grabbing coffee sometime in the next few weeks? Or suggest another low pressure meeting option. The timing here is crucial. Early September through mid-October is prime time for these follow-up conversations. People are back in work mode. They are setting goals for the rest of the year, and they are often looking for new perspectives and connections. But here's what I really want you to understand about follow-through. It's not about immediately turning every summer connection into a business opportunity. It's about nurturing relationships that will serve both of you over the long term. Some of your summer connections will lead to immediate opportunities. Others will become valuable relationships that pay dividends months or even years later. And some will simply become people you enjoy staying connected with professionally. All of these outcomes are valuable. So let me bring this all together for you with a real example of how the framework of the 3 R's work in practice. Let's say you meet Sarah at a summer conference. She mentions she's working on improving her team's communication during a casual conversation over lunch. You connect with her on LinkedIn that same day using the natural reach out template I gave you. 2 weeks later, you come across an article about team communication strategies. You send it to Sarah with a note about how it reminded you of her team situation. She responds with a thanks and mentions she's actually piloting some new approaches. In September, you circle back asking how the pilot went. She's excited to share that it's going well, and you mention you'd love to hear more details. You end up having coffee with Sarah, during which she mentions her company is looking for a consultant to help with a larger communication initiative. She asks if you know anyone who might be a good fit. Whether you refer someone else or mention your own services, you have now created a situation where opportunities flow naturally from the relationship you've built. Sarah doesn't feel like she was targeted for networking. She feels like she's developed a genuine professional relationship with someone who is interested in her success. Here is what I encourage you to try this week after listening to the podcast episode. Choose 3 people you would like to reconnect with. Maybe colleagues you haven't spoken to in a while, someone you met at a recent event, or industry contacts who have been quiet this summer. Use the reach out template I gave you and send them a genuine message. And if you can't remember, go back to the podcast episode, go to the beginning, re-listen to the episode, catch that template, and focus on showing genuine interest in what they're working on and how their summer is going. Pay attention to who responds and how they respond. These responses will tell you who's ready for a deeper connection and who might be valuable to circle back with in September. Remember, summer networking isn't about collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections. It's about building genuine relationships with people whose work and perspectives you respect or admire. When you approach it this way, networking stops feeling icky and starts feeling the way it should be, relationship building that serves everyone involved. You have everything you need to make the summer a relationship building success. The framework is simple, the templates are flexible, and the timing is perfect. Now go out there and build those connections. Your September self will thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to Communicate to Lead. Until next Thursday, my friend, I am Kele, reminding you that great communication is the foundation of inspiring leadership. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember to communicate to lead.